You're in a heated argument. Voices are raised. Insults are flying. And yet, you stay calm. You don't respond. You don't defend. You just stay silent. To most people, silence feels uncomfortable. It feels like weakness, like you're giving in. But to the Stoics, silence wasn't surrender. It was power. It was mastery of the self. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, these ancient philosophers believed silence could be a weapon sharper than any sword and a shield stronger than any armor. In today's video, we're diving into 9 moments in life when silence becomes your greatest strength. And if you can practice even a fraction of this wisdom, you'll not only change how others see you, you'll change how you see yourself. 1. Silence in the face of insults. Imagine this. Someone at work makes a cutting remark. They say you're incompetent, lazy, or undeserving of your position. The instinct: snap back, defend yourself, prove them wrong. But here's the Stoic perspective. If their insult is true, your anger doesn't change reality. If it's false, why let it disturb you? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone despises me, that is their problem. My only concern is not doing anything despicable." Think about that. If someone calls you dishonest, and you're not, why should their words shake you? And if you are dishonest, silence gives you a chance to reflect and improve instead of lashing out. Here's the deeper truth. When you remain silent under insult, you win twice. First, you deny the insulter the satisfaction of your reaction. Second, you reveal their weakness. They showed their anger. You showed control. In fact, silence often embarrasses the attacker more than words ever could. So next time someone throws an insult, ask yourself, am I really going to hand them control of my emotions? Or will I stay silent and let my character speak louder than their noise? 2. Silence among boasters and show-offs. We've all sat across from that person. The one who can't stop listing their accomplishments, bragging about money, status, followers, or who they know. And our ego whispers, tell your story too. Outshine them. Show them you're better. But here's the Stoic move. Say nothing. Seneca once observed, "He who praises himself will soon find no one else to praise him." When others boast, and you remain silent, you're making a statement louder than any brag. I don't need validation from you. Silence in these moments reveals confidence. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to compete. And ironically, people notice. They start to wonder, why isn't this person talking about themselves? What are they hiding? What makes them so secure? Here's a modern example. Imagine you're at a party. 2 people are competing, bragging about their new cars, vacations, job titles. You stay silent, smile politely, and ask them questions instead. Who looks more impressive? Not the one scrambling for attention, but the one who doesn't need it. The Stoics understood this. Silence is often the loudest form of confidence. 3. Silence when anger burns hot. Let's be honest, anger feels powerful. Your chest tightens, your voice rises, you want to unleash every word you've been holding back. But anger is actually weakness dressed as strength. Epictetus put it bluntly. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Think about that. If someone can make you lose your temper, they control you. Silence here is resistance. It's the pause between stimulus and response where reason can return. It's the space that prevents you from saying something you'll regret for years in a moment that lasts seconds. Consider this story. Julius Caesar, long before he became ruler of Rome, was mocked publicly by an enemy. Instead of retaliating, Caesar stayed silent. His restraint only increased his reputation for control, while the insulter looked petty. Now compare that with modern life. How many careers, friendships, even marriages have been destroyed by one outburst? A silent pause would have saved them. Silence when angry isn't weakness. It's the highest form of strength. Mastering yourself when every part of you wants to lash out. 4. Silence in the shadow of false accusations. What do you do when someone lies about you? When rumors spread, and your name is stained by words you never said or deeds you never did. The instinct is to shout back, defend yourself, prove your innocence. But here's the danger. Defending too much makes you look guilty. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let your character be your defense. When lies spread, silence shows confidence in the truth. You don't chase rumors. You let time reveal reality. History proves this too. The philosopher Socrates faced false accusations that led to his trial and eventual death. Did he beg or plead? No. He answered calmly, spoke the truth once, and accepted his fate with dignity. His silence and composure gave him immortality, while his accusers are remembered only for their injustice. Silence in the face of lies tells the world, I am bigger than gossip. I will outlast it. 5. Silence in times of grief. There's a silence that comes not from strength, but from pain. The silence of loss. When someone you love dies, or when life takes away something precious, words often feel empty. The Stoics understood that grief cannot be avoided, but it can be carried with dignity. Seneca, who lost a young child, wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." For the Stoics, grief was not about loud displays or dramatic cries. It was about quiet reflection, about honoring the one you lost through your actions, not just your words. Silence in grief allows you to process the pain, to remember without distraction, to sit in the truth of impermanence. Think of a funeral. The most powerful moments are often the quiet ones. Not the speeches, not the rituals, but the silent tears, the unspoken presence of those who care. Silence here is not weakness. It is love too deep for words. 6. Silence in the presence of ignorance. You've been in this situation. Someone argues with confidence about something they don't understand. They mock, they shout, they refuse to listen. And you're tempted to educate them, to show them how wrong they are. But Epictetus warned, it is impossible to learn what one thinks one already knows. In other words, arguing with the willfully ignorant is like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. Silence here is wisdom. You're not conceding the argument. You're refusing to waste your time. You're choosing peace over proving a point that can never be proven to someone unwilling to see it. There's a saying, never wrestle with a pig. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. The Stoics would agree. Your silence in the face of ignorance shows maturity. It says, I value my energy too much to waste it here. 7. Silence when rumors spread. Rumors are like wildfires. The more oxygen you give them, the bigger they grow. And what's the oxygen of rumors? Attention. The Stoics believe that if your life is virtuous, rumors cannot destroy you. Seneca wrote, the less we deserve good fortune, the more we cling to it, reminding us that character, not reputation, is what matters. If people spread lies about you, and you rush to correct every word, you feed the flames. But if you stay silent, if you continue living with integrity, the fire eventually burns out. Think of it this way. A person who lives honestly doesn't need to run after rumors. Their daily actions are proof enough. Silence here is not defeat. It's confidence that truth survives longer than gossip. 8. Silence in the face of temptation. Temptation isn't always dramatic. Often, it's quiet, subtle. The extra drink, the unnecessary purchase, the shortcut you know you shouldn't take. When temptation whispers, silence is your best defense. Don't argue with it. Don't negotiate. Just stay silent and turn away. Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. What's more enslaving than being ruled by desire? Every time you remain silent against temptation, you're proving to yourself, I am free. I control my wants don't control me. This silence isn't emptiness. It's discipline. It's the foundation of true freedom. 9. Silence while listening and learning. And finally, the most overlooked silence of all, the silence of listening. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we may listen twice as much as we speak. Silence here is not passive. It's active. It's leaning in, absorbing wisdom, noticing what others miss because they're too busy speaking. Great leaders, great philosophers, great thinkers, what do they all share? The ability to stay quiet long enough to truly hear. In silence, you not only learn from others, you learn from life itself. Nature, hardship, even your own mistakes. These become teachers only if you are silent enough to listen. So what have we learned? Silence is not weakness. It's not emptiness. It's strength, discipline, and clarity. In the face of insults, silence shows dignity. In the heat of anger, silence shows mastery. In grief, silence shows depth of love. And in learning, silence shows humility. The Stoics remind us that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. So the next time life tempts you to react, to shout, to argue, to prove yourself, pause, breathe, ask, would silence be stronger here? Because often, the strongest voice is silence.